going on, guys? We are back with a brand new series here on the channel. Our Pokemon Sword Chesslock. That is right, we are back for our this is our fourth edition of the Chesslock, something like that. This is our fourth edition, I think. Right Black, Y, Crystal, Sword. Yeah, we're here at number 4. And so for those of you who are new, welcome, of course. And I'll explain the Chesslock rules here in a second as we're going through all of this intro stuff. But for those of you who are back again and are very excited that the Chesslock is back, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, so that you get notified whenever we go live with this series. So, and of course that also applies to the new people as well. But for those of you who are new, the Chesslock, how it works. The party members on your team are a representation of the chess pieces on the board. So your king is traditionally your starter Pokemon, and is 75% male, right? So yeah, that ends up being your king. It cannot faint. If you lose your king, you lose the run. That is how that works. There's no exceptions, you know, that is the way that it rolls. And then you have your queen, who must be the opposite nature or the opposite gender of your starter. If you want to flip-flop it, like I could, if our starter ends up being the queen, our queen is the one that can't die, and our king can be the one that can be sacrificed or whatever if need, right? But yeah, so basically the queen has no exceptions to what they are. Some people play it that they have to be the same, like, egg group, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to sit there and pick opposite gender. And basically we have no restrictions. They're allowed to fully evolve. They're allowed to have whatever moveset they want. There's no restrictions there. The queen is typically the best piece on a chessboard, and so that is why it is the way it is. And then you have your rook, knight, and bishop. Now, all of these we're allowed to have 2 of on our team. And only 2 unless a pawn promotes himself, which we'll talk about later. But basically, the rooks are your next strongest piece. So they're allowed to have whatever damaging moves they want, as long as they don't have secondary effects. Meaning you can't use Flamethrower, you can't use Fire Blast, because those moves have an opportunity to burn somebody. But you can use Earthquake, because Earthquake has no secondary effect. So those are kind of the restrictions that you have on that. So like strength is really good, facade is not usable, right? Things like that. Then your bishop, again, can evolve, no problem. Same with the rook, by the way. But the rook, the difference between the rook and the bishop, for example, is the bishop is only allowed to have 2 damaging moves at any given time. Meaning, I can have 2 setup moves, I can have 2 status moves, I just can't have more than 2 moves that have a power level on their things. Now, I have traditionally allowed moves like superpower to be labeled damaging moves, even though they don't have a power level to them, because they do damage. They're not a status move, they are a contact move, right? So I've traditionally put them in the category of being a damaging move, but some people don't. Up to you. Then of course you have your knight, and your knight is allowed to evolve like everything else, except you're not allowed to use moves that are over 60 base power. You can use however many moves you want, but you do have that restriction. Sets, and I think everything else is pretty much staying the same. I think this controller that I'm using currently has a little bit of Joy-Con drift, unfortunately, so there's a little bit of stuff that I will have to be careful that I'm not just messing around with it. And of course, Luna is popping up here. I don't know if you can't really see her on camera. I have a little bit zoomed into me today, but because we're in a different setting, so I didn't want to have just giant living room space and me just in the little middle of it instead of being in my office where I usually am. So, but yeah. And then, of course, you have your pawns. So we're allowed to have 1 pawn on our team. It must be the bottom stage evolution of whatever it is. And it doesn't have any restriction in terms of what moves it can use, but it can't evolve. unless it solos a gym leader or a rival fight. Now, I traditionally don't view the early battle rival fights as a way for the pawn to promote. I typically wait till after the first gym. However, in this game, I think after we clear the wild area, I think that's really when Hop gets a team that's usable enough that you could say your pawn could solo and it's fine. So I think that's what we're going to do. As far as this game specifically goes, this is a normal hardcore Nuzlocke. Outside of those restrictions to our party members, it's a regular hardcore Nuzlocke, right? So, you know, no items in battle. You can put held items on though. You know, Pokemon Fate's considered dead. You can't use it again. We're gonna permanently box them. We're not gonna release them, but yeah. And as far as nickname goes, typically what I do is I just name the... Because I don't want to get confused about what's out on the field and like when I'm worrying about like moves and stuff like that, I typically like to just allow the Pokemon's nickname to be King, Knight, Queen, Bishop, whatever, right? And that makes it a little bit easier for me anyways, but we can certainly switch them to different nicknames later once our teams are established and we can kind of figure out what they are. Maybe you guys have nickname suggestions for them because we can actually go in this game and freely change them around. So if you guys have nicknames for them down below, we can maybe change them around, maybe closer to the Elite Four kind of deal, and kind of go with that. So I don't think there's anything to do in here. But yeah, so that is the series. That is what we're gonna be doing for this game specifically, because this is the first region where there were Pokemon in the overworld to really deal with. I think what we're gonna try to do is in any route where it's possible to fish or it's possible to get the exclamation mark encounter, I think that's what our priority is going to be. So that I'm not having to sit there and think about overworld Pokemon and get a better encounter than maybe I would have gotten normally, right? Because if I can just choose Rookity or something, like I could pick a really good team like really, really easily, and I don't want that to be the case. So we're gonna go for exclamation mark encounters wherever we can, or fish. And there's a few places that I know that it's not really possible, like Galar Mine I'm pretty sure is not possible. So at that point, I would maybe suggest that I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close my eyes and we're just going to go forward. But honestly, like, it doesn't really matter to me. Hopefully we can find something where it's just like it rustles in the ground. Like, I think that would be ideal, but I don't think it's very possible to get an encounter otherwise. So, or we can maybe just say we have to get the Roly-Coly. I don't know. But we'll come across that bridge when we get to it. For right now, though, this is just a heavy tutorial episode, really. We're just getting through the beginning of the game. Sorry, I have the hiccups now. I just tried to eat before doing this, and I always find, like, I'm talking so much, and then the air gets in, and then I'm... is what it is. Problems, right? But, anyways. For our starter, normally I suggest the fire starter in Nuzlocke because there aren't very many fire types, but I do know in the Galar region, part of the third gym's trial is actually catching the fire type. So I think what we're gonna have to do is pick a different starter, and I think there's also a world where I mean, I guess we could always just pick Cinderace anyways, and then just not go with the other Pokemon that's available. But I've always really liked Grookey. Not that I think that grass types are super important in this region, but it would give us a guaranteed good shot at the first gym. We'd kind of probably struggle with the second one, but yeah. Personally, my favorite is Rillaboom out of this trio. Cinderace would probably be second, and then Inteleon would probably end up coming in last for me, just from a design standpoint. But obviously we don't have hidden abilities, so Grassy Surge would make Grookey just unbelievable in this game, but But yeah, we have to kind of decide. Score Bunny or Grookey is kind of the only real choice that I'm trying to make here as we're kind of talking it through. I think it's also interesting because Score Bunny would also get Double Kick, which would give me like a good fighting type move, which is really nice early. I think there's a lot of benefits to that. You know what? I think I talked myself into it. I think I talked myself into the fire type right after trying to talk myself out of it. I think we go with Score Bunny. I think we go with the little guy. It's filled to bursting with fiery passion. I don't know if that's proper English, but we're gonna go with Score Bunny here. And Score Bunny here is a male, so we get to name it our king here. And that's that. For the wild area as well, I think I'm gonna also allow it that we can get one from each area of the wild area instead of just one wild area Pokemon. Because we do have a really high opportunity of missing out on a lot of them because, because they're higher level than us normally when we go in there. So it's like, I can maybe catch a few of them, but they're really hard to catch. The one scary thing is that Inteleon's really, really fast and good against my starter. And Leon already has a Charizard. That's a problem. So I'm a little worried that I made the Leon fight a little harder with Cinderace, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We had a deathless Chesslock in the last one with the Pokemon Crystal, so I'm thinking this one's gonna go a lot differently. You were able to manipulate the encounters a lot more in Generation 2, and I think this generation, it's really hard to manipulate all the encounters the way that we want to, so I am very, very nervous about it, but oh my god. And one thing about this game, though, I will say, you are in episode 3, possibly even episode 4, before you get out of tutorial stuff. It's a little overwhelming how much tutorials involved, but hopefully we can get through it nice and quickly. That would be the dream. Obviously, I'm actually playing on a Switch, so I don't have the ability to speed up or anything, so okay, so Hawk comes out. He's gonna have 2 Pokemon. He sends out a Wooloo. We should have an advantage as long as we don't have a minus attack nature. That is the one thing that will be so painful. Let's actually go check him out. Let's go check him out. Check summary here. I'll take Hasty. That's up speed minus defense. I'm not mad about it. A fast, offensive, physical fire type can't be burned. Like, I am down to clown with that. That works for me. I probably would have preferred a lower special defense if I'm just trying to, like, nitpick a little bit. But I think overall, like, we got one of the better natures we could get. Honestly, in a Nuzlocke, though, I think attack or special attack boosts are just significantly more important than speed, but because you're going to get EVs and some of the trainers you fight don't, but I am okay with it. A critical hit? What kind of beginner's luck is that? Ain't no beginner's lucky, boy. I'm a 4-time Pokemon champion, bro. Alright, we'll get to level 6. Learn Ember, which is huge. I feel like Ember still does more at this point. I feel like Ember still does more, but we'll go for Ember at least once just to say we did it. And it's still a 2-shot. We'll go for it anyways. Did you already know about type advantages? Yeah. Yeah, I did. Alright. So our king here is going to pick up 2 KOs here nice and early. But I think after we get all of our wild area encounters in Route 3, I think I'm going to take a little bit of time and try to actually pick up some of the raid den, like, experience points, just that it's a little bit easier to grind, because we're going to get stuck where, like, the levels are too high. I find this game's a little weird, right? Like, you have the openness to go wherever you want, but then you're a little under-leveled if you don't train up. So I'm gonna need to do something to kind of make up for that early. Okay, yep. And at some point after this tutorial stuff, I'll actually start doing voice commentary as well, but for right now, this is just not it. This is just not it. This is like the first point where it's actually like, oh, there's something going on, but even here, like, I think this could have technically been skipped. Like this part right here, I think you could have skipped it. I think it's just 3 random battles, you fight, you see the legendary Pokemon that you wouldn't be able to see normally. It's a little bit... like, I understand it's like, oh, like, you're exploring and like, oh, you ran into something wild immediately, but, yeah. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Okay, so these are all 4 static encounters, so these don't count as our encounters when we can actually come back here at some point. I don't think you can come back here until post-game, so like I don't even know if we can get anything here, but yeah, we're just gonna tackle here. Although I think Squovit has way worse special defense, but that's okay. We'll just get the experience off of here, and we'll do a nice, clean, easy dubs. With no damage taken. That's what I like to really see here. Okay. Oh, that's like no experience though. Holy, level 2s give you nothing, bro. Absolutely nothing. Alright. Get the second one. Hey, Rickety. Rickety is still just a pure flying type, so I think I just continue to tackle. Yeah, Score Buddy's so strong. Alright. Pick up this, there we go. 9 experience, bro. You gotta give me some level 3s or something. Like, what are we doing out here? Howling. Alright, another Squovit. Can you be higher level this time, please? You are. Hello. Shout out to you. Oh, that's not a 2-shot? That's crazy. Okay, let's see if Ember does a little bit more. I know that Squovit has worse special defense. Oh, ow. Okay, it was about the same. I guess our stats aren't that high yet. I guess that makes sense. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so Squovit is down. That's level 3. That gives us some experience. Perfect. And that just lets us clear this next area here, no problem. Come on, that Wooloo might be in real trouble. No. Wooloo's not in trouble. Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Bro, I feel like I'm like going to work right now. The fog? I live in a coastal city, so like, I'm telling you, the fog that rolls off the ocean some mornings and like the harbor and everything, like you just can't see over the bridge in front of you. Like there's just nothing happening. Hello. All right, Nuzlocke over. We just lost. It's okay. Okay, so obviously we can't do anything against this, so we're just gonna tackle a few times, and that's just what we're gonna call it. But yeah. It's also kind of funny that they just kind of reused like the Pokemon Tower like in Generation 1, but like right at the beginning of the game. Alright, yep. Super foggy, can't do anything. Okay, if they made this the animation for like Mist or whatever, like in future games, that would be wild. That would be wild. I would appreciate that level of effects and be like, oh yeah, like no wonder it's harder to hit things. Like there should actually be like a I know like there's like a deep fog like overworld like thing, but like there isn't one like in the battling system. I want it. I want it in there. Okay. Because that'd be really cool, like, if you had a strategy where, like, you had, like, a bunch of not able to miss moves, and then, like, you were playing in the fog so that you, like, your opponent had lower accuracy. Like, that'd be really, really cool, actually. Bro. Bro, we were worried about saving that Wooloo with that Charizard. I was supposed to eat him for breakfast. What do you mean? we came in here to save that Wooloo. That Wooloo's gonna about to get burnt. We having lamb for dinner. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Okay, don't forget to tell your mom. Yeah, we got it. We got it. We got it. Okay, roll up in here. Hello. Okay, so pocket money? Hell yeah, we take that cash money. Alright, so let's go down and let's at least get a Route 1 encounter. I think that's something that we just have to do. I feel like it would be remiss if we didn't. So, wait! The power of sights is amazing! You can now battle and trade Pokemon with other people just by walking around. Bro, shout out to you being in every single game. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Okay. So, we get our first glimpse at the Route 1 overworld stuff. However, we are going to go for that, that exclamation mark encounter like we were kind of talking about. And so basically we're looking for like that kind of symbol to show up. I'm a little superstitious. I don't like going for the first one, but I will go for the second one. So, okay, we get a Blip Bug. Okay. Blip Bug's interesting because I actually don't think it learns any other move besides Struggle Bug until level 10 when it evolves. And then it becomes a super defensive psychic bug type, right? Okay, that did half right away, so I think we catch this. Blip Bug turns into Orbeetle, right? So if we're looking at this being a super defensive Pokemon, I actually think this makes a decent matchup. But we could also make it a Knight because we don't have to worry about it being super strong since it's defensive orientated anyways. What do I want here out of it? Because it is also possible that I go with like a calm mindset or something, and then I do other things. But Blip Bug here, Knight makes a ton of sense because we can just go with Confusion and Struggle Bug. We lower the special attack stat. We have Light Screen Reflect up. I don't even need to run Confusion. I could technically run... But then if I'm only using 2 offensive moves anyways, I'm a good Bishop too. But I don't think I want to... Like, Bishops are like the easy one, you know what I mean? So I think I want to make this a Knight for us. I think I want to make this a Knight. No moves stronger than 60 base power. And I can still play it like a Bishop if I want to. Or I could just go and change the moves around and make it offensive or defensive, depending on what I'm doing. I just don't think you have the offensive stats. Now, typically, I like having really, really high offensive Pokemon that just don't have the strongest move. Because you can Swords Dance up and they just stay as strong. But for this, I'm a little bit more... You know what? We have 2 Knight slots. I think we just make it a Knight. I think that's what we do. So we have our first Knight in play. Honestly, I'm not really sure how I feel about Orbeetle as an encounter because I've never used one. But I am intrigued about it. I do think that it could be interesting. We just got an adamant nature on it, didn't we? Okay, so I'm actually glad we got a knight then, because I would have been really upset getting that Pokemon and having a bad nature for it. So okay, that is what it is. We'll deal. There is candies and stuff like that as well, so it is actually possible that we can maybe like avoid some of the problems with it. Alright, so let's go talk to the professor. I love that clock though. Love it. I've got to give it to Professor Magnolia. Everything in here looks fascinating. Hey, buddy. What is it today, Leon? Looking for info on another never-before-seen super strong Pokemon? I wish you'd stop with these outlandish requests. Bro, that's the professor? Hello? Good to see you too, Yamper. Yamper here is a real champ when it comes to helping you find your way around. He came to my rescue plenty of times back in the day when I got lost on the road. Oh yeah, and this is his trainer, Sonia. What can I say about Sonia? Well, I like the way she cooks. She makes food you can gobble down in a flash. What kind of introduction is that? Did you forget we were rivals during our gym challenge? It wasn't just Yamper helping you out, I did too. Bro, you better put some respect on her name. She about to slap the hell out of you, Leon. Anyways, nice to meet you. Name's Sonia. I'm the professor's assistant. This is Leaf. He's a new Pokemon trainer. Set him on the right path, would you? Alright, I'll hang out with Sonia. See ya. Didn't need you anyways. What does he think I am? He's always got his head in the clouds. It's no wonder he got lost all the time. Oh, looks like you got a Rotom phone. Hey there, Rotom. Rotom phones are handy little things, aren't they? They've got a map and a navigation tool. That said, Leon still gets lost, so... Oh, sorry. So tell me, do you know a lot about Pokemon? Bet. Well said. In that case, I'll make it so that you can use the Pokedex on your Rotom phone. Shout out to Sonia. Just so you know, that Pokedex is a gift from my Gran. Could you let Gran know you received the Pokedex? She lived at the house down along Route 2. Why? I just want to hang out with you here. What are we doing? What are we doing over here? What are you studying? Just the plants? Or you got like a Pokemon in there? Bro, got yourself an office. Look at all these books. Crazy. Anyways, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Bye, Yamper. Hey there, trader. Sorry to stop you. You just left the Pokemon lab, right? So that means you've got a Pokedex, yeah? I love talking to new trainers and giving them useful stuff. Shout out to you. Alright, so I think there's not too much to do in this particular town. Ooh, rare candy is really, really useful there. I will take that. But yeah, I don't think there's too much to do here. There's still a little bit of tutorial stuff, so let's just get it out the way. We'll make this episode a little bit longer just to get out of here, but... Yeah, I know what a Pokemon Center is, Hop. Jesus. We're just here. Of course not. Alright, I don't need anything from here at all, actually. I just need to heal up my Pokemon. There's really nothing that you need. Like, they give you all of the healing items you could ever ask for. Like, you are just so good. Like, you don't need anything. Okay, so let's get out of here. And there's nothing from Homegirl here, but what I do want to go pick up is some berries. And let's just pick up, like, 5 of them. We don't need Chera or Pekka either. And then let's... Ooh, we got another item here. And then Pokédoll is actually really, really important because the wild area is super terrifying. But let's try to get a little bit swagged out here. We do have just a green top that we can pick up. I'm down to just pick up a green top. Let's do it. As far as hoodies go, let's just stick with a white one. We gotta get warm here. We're a little freezing out here. We have jeans already, so we're good. Oh, you're not even wearing socks, bro. Put on some socks. What are you doing? Loafers, not worried about. The bag that we want. I think we just rock out with the white one. I kind of like the white one over what we had. As far as hats go, your boy loves himself a toque. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with the green one. And then for glasses, I mean, honestly, like, I got blue ones on right now, but I'm down for some green ones. We'll get some green ones up in here. And then I think we're good with that. So let's stop shopping. We're good. Okay, so we're decked out. We're decked out. We're good to go. We have everything we need, I think. So with that, I think let's wrap up today's episode right here. So thanks everyone for watching. Click like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you really liked it. And I will see you guys in the next one.